Ah, you're finally awake. Ready for another stealth archer playthrough?
Yup, don't you worry, we're the same. See, I've got the same issue. Before starting a new playthrough, telling myself to try out any other build and ways to play Skyrim, you know, exploring the plethora of different weapons and ways to handle combat, I always trickle back down to the stealth archer playthrough. It's an addiction, okay? I don't know what to say. But I'm guessing most of you watching this particular video feel the same way. There's just not much that can beat that feeling of crouching around undetected and picking people off like some sleek, badass Legolas-type sharpshooter assassin. I mean, it also makes sense in terms of immersion, right? Like, why would anyone want to get up close and dirty with these creatures when one can take them down with some precise arrows from afar? I mean, just look at it. I ain't touching that. But one thing I do like to touch, next to those tubs of slime I used to play with as a kid, a fluffy coat of fur, and, I don't know, bubble wrap, are Skyrim mods. Gah, now imagine seeing that on some dating profile. Impossible to swipe left to that. Anyways, simply put, Skyrim Archery, good. Skyrim Archery with mods, woo! So today we're taking a look at a somewhat recent bunch of mods to improve and modernize Skyrim Archery, making it more fun. Now, do you know what else is fun? Having full control of your personal data online when browsing the vast, scary internet. And how do I do that, Gim, you might ask? Well, that is where today's wonderful sponsor comes in. Yes, Surfshark VPN. By following the link down below, using the code GIMLINHO, you'll get the power to not only protect your online privacy and control your personal data, as you'll also unlock exclusive benefits for gaming. Whether it's having access to region-locked games or features like earlier releases for the biggest games releasing, the possibility to play on different servers to connect with friends from other countries, or simply protecting your data while buying games or making in-game purchases, Surfshark VPN's got your gaming needs covered. Personally, I especially like using it to feed my guilty pleasure of endless TV shows and movies to get the most out of my preferred streaming platforms. Like back when I wanted to revisit a childhood favorite of mine in Avatar: The Last Airbender, only to find out I only had access to the live-action movie. Yeah. This had to change. Luckily, thanks to the easy-to-use Surfshark VPN, I was able to change my online location with a simple click and wapow! I had access to the whole series and could start binging away. Being able to access over 3,200 servers in 100+ countries, bypassing website blocks, all while protecting yourself with military-grade encryption across multiple devices with 24/7 online support makes the Surfshark VPN 24-month plan an easy choice to go with. There's even a 30-day money-back guarantee. Yeah, just scan the QR code on screen or click the link below, and use my special code GIMLINHO for 3 free months. And back to the mods, we're starting off with a core set of mods altering the animation you'll see in your character that'll make you go, god damn, that's some badass archer shit right there. You can think of these first two from the mod author known as Smooth or Skypia as the main piece in our archery dish, like the chicken itself, and then we'll cover it with all the better ingredients to fry later. First, there's the animation replacing dynamic bow animation. This just ups the badassery of all the bow animations. You'll equip the bow with a little bit of sass and purpose, like you're about to school some foes in ranged combat, where I guess the only thing they'll be learning is how to end up dead. Ha! As in many other of Smooth's mods, the items and movement just all look really smooth and modern, especially when compared to the vanilla animations. It changes the animation of the bow shooting to be more fitting of a true sniper, with slight differences in the way you'll see your character release when shooting the arrows, kinda flicking the hand in different ways. Extra attention has also been given to the sneaking animations for when holding and using the bow, and I can safely say that playing as a stealth archer in Skyrim in third person has never looked this sick. Sick as in badass, you know, cool, like the good kind of sick. I certainly hope all you watching at home are feeling healthy and good. Anyways, this mod is really good, and I get if this alone is enough for some of you, but if you're looking to take it a step further, a step where you'll find a bow to be more reliable and full of different offensive features, even in those hectic close-up situations, you'll be happy to know that it's fully compatible with the next mod, which is Bow Rapid Combo V3 Archer Combat Overhaul. But now this is a massive, unique, game-changing addition to the Skyrim Archery that'll make it look like a completely different game when in combat, which I know some people don't like, but I still recommend trying it out, as it makes for a really fun experience. So it essentially expands the archery combat by adding functionality to the right mouse button, meaning that it doesn't interfere with the vanilla archery combat where you use the left mouse button to pull the bowstring. This way, it lets you make use of a set of acrobatic and fast-paced abilities to get you out of those sticky situations. Starting with the default rapid shot ability, you'll be able to quickly fling a single fire shot at your target by clicking the right mouse button. Naturally, as when in combat you'll be moving around a lot, unique ways of doing these rapid shots has been assigned to the different directional keys, so you can use them in combination with the right mouse button. Whether it's flinging multiple arrows towards your enemies or doing fancy little twirls and swirls, the mod provides you with a unique set of rapid shots movesets, which at least for me made me feel like it never really got repetitive. And these are only the rapid shots, yup. We've barely even scratched the surface of what this mod has to offer. See, cause it also adds melee combat to the archery. I mean, come on now, you've experienced those awkward moments when the enemies get a bit too close. You know, when you're shooting your bow and get all like, oh yo 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 yo. But that will happen no more, cause now you can assign a custom melee hotkey that, just like the rapid shot, can be used in different ways depending on the direction you're moving. From fancy kicks, punches, and even like a jump shot combo for when you're lacking of the high ground. Yeah, you don't want to end up like that, so use the new combos wisely. And that still actually isn't it. There's actually more. Meet the new secondary daggers you'll be able to use while having the bow equipped. Yup, the badassery levels just reach an all-new high. These craftable daggers makes the archery melee combat even more lethal, letting you perform acrobatic attacks and combos like taken straight out of some ninja anime. Now, for those moments where you've actually got the time to make aim for those longer distance shots, and you've got an archery level over 60, you can perform the perfect timing shots. A shot only performed when the bowstring's fully charged and released at the perfect timing, letting you shoot 2 arrows at once. And then there's the power shot, an extra powerful shot you can use when pulling the bowstring for more than 3 seconds. And if you want to make the movement even more acrobatic and grandiose, there's an optional flip dodge you can make use of. Again, all of these moves look and feel very smooth. I've pretty much been using both of these mods and their previous iterations ever since they came out, and while they might look a bit overpowered, I found them to be quite balanced as I do play on harder difficulties. I mean, what can I say? I'm known as a professional in these streets, a proper Skyrim G. I need to get a life. Oh, and a quick mention of a must-have mod when using the ones already mentioned is True Directional Movement by Earth, as it comes with the much-needed feature of target locking. I'm guessing this is like a typical mods 95% of you watching already use. Now you might be like, but Gim, target lock is for cheating pussies, and I get your point, but it's not like we're doing esports Skyrim over here. At the end of the day, it's a role-playing game. Roleplay, meaning if your character's a badass stealth archer of skills never seen in Tamriel, you might as well use target lock to add to the overall immersion. Personally, I don't think it makes combat any less fun, but hey ho, each to their own, right? And speaking of each to their own, some of you might not even be into third-person gaming in Skyrim at all. Like, no matter how many mods you try out, playing in third person might just feel wrong. Or maybe you do like third person, but wouldn't mind improving the first person aspect of archery as well. Either way, I highly recommend the recently released comprehensive first-person animation overhaul by Polar, a mod adding thousands of first-person animations for the usage of the various weapons. Naturally, we're looking to add this to our archery overhaul for its unique bow animations, replacing what you see when equipping the bow, firing the bow, idling with the bow, and moving around. And especially when you compare these to the base vanilla animations, the new ones look really sleek. Hey, I mean, you're finally able to walk around with the bow in hand without carrying it in that awkward upwards way like you're carrying a torch. Next, as we've improved the look of the way our character acts when archering around, it might help to improve the look of the bows themselves. First, I really like Better Shaped Bows of the Heavens by Economov. Think of this as the Better Shaped Weapons mod, but for bows. It simply changes the aesthetics of the bows to a more slim, perhaps more realistic look. Seeing those vanilla bows in first person just isn't a nice thing, is it? It kinda blocks the view in a way. Don't get me wrong, thickness can be appreciated in a lot of different areas in life, but when it comes to bows, you want them to be slimmer, you know, all nice and sleek, so we move with ease and feel good when we release those arrows and go ratatata. And that's exactly what we get with the mod, altering the bows in this way without changing their looks and what they represent. But in the case of the vanilla quivers, we definitely want to change the look, especially when the new look comes in the form of the quivers seen in El Sopa's Quivers Redone. I mean, does this guy get anything wrong? These quivers look incredible. I always make sure to wear them even when I'm not using a bow, just for the sheer aesthetic. They look fine. And when you get up close, they just look so good. Sniffable, I don't know, they're incredible. I don't think I've ever used a real proper bow in real life, but I just want one of these, just to hold them in my arms when I go to bed. You know, to appreciate the elite handiwork and just Yup, I am down bad for these quivers, and do I even need to explain why? Look at them! High quality, detailed, performance-friendly goodness, and they look lore-friendly, with each having different touches of uniqueness to them. And just like that, our bows and quivers are looking mighty fine, and as a result, I don't actually think there's that much of a necessity to add new bows, but a couple won't hurt, especially when it's bows from Unique Bows Collection by Artisanix, a classic goodie of a mod, adding 10 new unique bows to the game with different stats and powers, as well as look and design. All of them are scattered throughout the game world in locations that make sense, according to the lore behind each bow. If you want to become the baddest, most legendary ranged combatant in Skyrim, you'll have to obtain all of the best bows. So in that way, the mod adds a certain adventurous aspect to the Archer playthrough, as you'll have to use Trebonius Catanius' diary to track and find them all. Moving on, we've got a massive underrated mod called Skyrim Arrow Overhaul. This mod by Matt Glass completely overhauls the way archery works, starting with the arrows, with all arrows having different variants with different arrowheads. Yup, and these arrowheads are meant to be used for different purposes. By looking at the little graph chart thingy on the mod page, we can get an idea of what does what. So for example, if you're faced with a heavily armored opponent, you'll have to make use of one of the armor-piercing arrows like the bodkin-tipped ones or the hammerheads. However, these armor-piercing arrows do much less damage, so make sure to utilize other arrowheads, like the broadhead ones, especially when faced with regular unarmored opponents. Yup, this is some real proper techie stuff. I also appreciate how the mod author made sure to accompany all of it with visuals, whether it's arrows ricocheting off armor or the new high-res knocks. There's even a special set of arrows, like the fire arrow. This one can be used to illuminate dark places or to turn your enemy into a nice Sunday roast. Then there's the whistle arrows, arrows that act like a siren, alerting any foes at a great distance, coming in handy when you just want to check an area for enemies before going ahead. The silver arrow is, well, quite standard, dealing increased damage to undead enemies. A bit more creative is the Falmer arrows, made from the venom gland of the Charis, useful when you want to pump poison into the enemy, suppressing the target's stamina and magical regeneration. And last are the explosive bolts, available for crafting after completing the Dawnguard questline. These make a lot of noise when launched, luring the enemy close before going boom. And they come in variants of fire, ice, and shock, with each naturally resulting in different types of explosions. Impressed yet? Cause you should be. This mod deserves way more love. And there's even more to it as it introduces a quiver mechanic, where you're only able to carry a limited custom set amount of arrows when having a quiver equipped, as well as changes to the general, arrow damage, making it locational based, and changes to the stamina cost of drawing the bow, as well as a massive overhaul to the perk tree, not only improving it, but to make it work with your newly added archery tools, implementing it all perfectly, so you'll unlock these tools and abilities as you naturally progress as an archer. With this mod, I kinda feel like you don't need much else in terms of mods that provide you with extra arrows and abilities. It feels complete enough. I mean, what else could you possibly need? But if you do feel like you want to add even more when it comes to arrow types and crafting, or maybe that's just all you want, then I recommend checking out either Fendrix's Arcane Arsenal by Fendrix for some arrows with really cool offensive effects, or Imbued Supportive Ammunition, a mod that lets you turn archery into more of a support and healing class. I also know there's some Creation Club stuff that adds arrows with powers, like the Arcane Archer pack, that can even be taken further with mods like this cool one by Parapets, so if you have access to this stuff, you should definitely check it out. As for myself, I'm something of a poor peasant, so I'll stick to my free stuff. And with those words of self-encouragement, we'll end the video. If you decide to install any of these mods, make sure to endorse them on the Nexus and let them others know just how much you appreciate their work. If you appreciate this video, make sure to like it and leave a witty comment. Maybe you got some other mods to recommend that weren't mentioned in the video. And if you've watched the video all the way through without being subscribed, well, why not just subscribe, brother? Because there's a lot more videos coming your way. And a special thank you to the few of you who've already decided to support me by becoming members. You're all goats. With that, this has been Gim. May your road lead you to warm sands, everyone. See ya. Peace.